Hello and welcome to Mr. Marshall Flip. Today we're talking about the respiratory system. Now there are actually two types of respiration in the body. We've got internal respiration and external respiration. Now internal respiration is really important, and it's governed by this equation right here. This equation says oxygen plus glucose gets turned into carbon dioxide, water, and energy through a chemical reaction inside our body cells. And that's how food is transformed into energy in the body. But how does food turn into glucose? We'll talk more about that in the digestive system. Okay, what we're talking about is external respiration. So external respiration is our breathing in and out. Okay, and it's really important because it's how we get oxygen into our body. That's the other half. Remember, we had oxygen, we had glucose. We need oxygen so that we can burn the glucose to get our energy. It's also how we get carbon dioxide out of our body. So this is the upper respiratory system. This is our mouth and our nose. Back here we've got a cavity which basically connects our mouth and our nose into what's called the pharynx. So air goes into the pharynx, which connects the mouth and nose, and also connects it to the esophagus. This is the tube that goes down to our stomach. But we've got what's called the epiglottis. The epiglottis is a little flap on top. Pretend this is your throat. It's on top, and basically it lets air in, and then when we swallow food, it shuts so that food doesn't go into our lungs, and drink doesn't go into our lungs either. Okay. The epiglottis is on top of the trachea. Okay, the trachea is over here. That's the bit which goes down through to our lungs. If food does go into the trachea, our body has a mechanism to stop it from getting too far, and that's coughing. When we're coughing, we're trying to get air from our lungs through our trachea to force that food back out and then swallow it properly, or get rid of it completely. It's also the trachea which contains the vocal cords. These are what help us speak, what help us make sounds. They're two basically elastic muscles which vibrate up and down, and that's what helps us create our sound. Finally, going through the trachea, air reaches our lungs, and it reaches in two large tubes which are over here called the bronchi. Okay, and you can see one leads to either lung. Once we get to either lung, it splits into smaller and smaller tubes. These smaller tubes are called bronchioles, and eventually they branch out into tiny little air sacs like these ones over here called alveoli. These alveoli are the really important part. This is where oxygen gets transferred into the blood and carbon dioxide out. The reason that this occurs is because of these guys, the pulmonary veins and the pulmonary arteries, or venulae and arteroli, which are the really fine capillaries and the veins and arteries leading to those capillaries. Now remember, the artery, that's the blue one over here, is coming from the heart. It doesn't have oxygen yet, it's just got carbon dioxide. Comes to the alveoli, and then it goes back out oxygen rich in the vein to the heart. So let's have a look at the alveoli, because this is a really important thing. You can notice here, up here, we've got the entryway from the heart. It's coming through, and we've got our blue cells, our blue red blood cells here. These red blood cells contain carbon dioxide. They don't have oxygen yet. The oxygen that they used to have has been used up. Now, the alveoli have a thin film of water all around the edge here, and basically what happens is the oxygen comes in, it gets absorbed into that water and then transferred from the alveoli into the blood, in the red blood cells, and the carbon dioxide comes from the blood through into the alveoli and gets exhaled. So we get oxygen in, it goes into the blood to the cells that needs it. The carbon dioxide goes from the blood into the alveoli, and it gets exhaled out into the air. that's really how the respiratory system works. It's not a complicated system. It just is a very, very important one. If we didn't have that oxygen, we wouldn't be able to burn out food. We wouldn't be able to get the energy that we need. And it helps get rid of some of those toxins, because too much carbon dioxide in our body can be toxic for us. I hope you understood this lesson and enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys next time.